All right, guys, today we're going to talk about listings, and with all of the inventory coming on, how do you stand out?
You better get fired up.
All right, guys, happy Monday. I appreciate you joining me. Today I want to talk about something that I'm getting a lot of questions on when it comes to sellers, right? When you look just 4 months ago, not even 4 months ago, we had 365 single-family home listings on the market in Port St Lucie, right? Now we've got almost 1,000. It's almost tripled. That's a big, big, big difference. We're still seeing the demand there. In fact, when you were looking 4 months ago, we had 70, 80 sales a week in the city. Now we're seeing 90, even over 100 sales a week. So the sales are still going up. Buyers are still out there. The rates are not slowing buyers down. If that's what you've heard, I'm telling you that is not statistically supported at all. We are seeing the buyers out there. What we are seeing that is impacting sellers is the amount of listings that are coming onto the market, right? They're coming on in droves and they are outweighing significantly the amount of buyers that are closing, right? Now, this is a complete guess, but if I had to guess what the why was, I'm guessing there are a lot of people just on the conversations that I have daily that are on the fence of whether or not they should sell, and they're waiting for that peak in the market, right? But you never know when a peak in the market comes until you've already kind of missed it. So I think we've seen maybe not necessarily a peak, but it's plateaued. It hasn't come down yet, but it's plateaued. It's softened. The amount of showings we're getting is certainly being impacted. Overpriced listings are having to drop their price to be sold. You can no longer sell if you're overpriced. You've got to be properly priced. And we're seeing it all throughout the states. This isn't a Florida thing. This is absolutely a United States thing. So then the question becomes, okay, I'm a listing. I'm new to the market. What do I need to be different from everybody else? What do I got to do? What should my realtor do? What questions should I have? So I'm going to give you today the 4 reasons that a home doesn't sell so that you can reverse engineer that and impact as positively as possible those 4 areas. All right. So the number one thing that we're going to talk about when it comes to 4 reasons a home doesn't sell is presentation. Okay. Not just your in-house presentation, not just the outside presentation, but also the online metadata. Okay. So let's start with staging on the inside. This is pretty simple. You should have a realtor who can walk through your home and talk about any issues you have, right? But really look at it through the eyes of a buyer. It's tough as a seller because you're so in love with your house. I see it all the time. And honestly, most sellers, not all sellers, but most sellers have a tough time being honest with some of the issues that they have in their home. They'll overlook them. And if you bring them up as a realtor or a buyer, it's offensive, right? It hurts your feelings because, man, this is my house. I've built so many memories here. It's a reflection of me. So if you insult my house, you insult me. I get it. But at the end of the day, you've got to decide as a seller, do I want to spare my feelings or do I want to get this home sold for as much as possible? And that's a question that only you can answer, right? So when you're coming through with your realtor, you should be able to look at some of the things that you can switch. But I'll give you some of the big things that I see, right? When you walk into any room, especially the first room of the house, right? You open that door and you see the house. There should be no major furniture slowing you down or impeding you from getting through the rest of the home. If you're trying to get into a bedroom or into the kitchen or into the living room, and there's a big piece of furniture jutting out, making you kind of skirt against the wall, especially if you're a big 6 foot, 260 pound dude, that's going to slow you down. It's going to make it feel like it's a more restrictive, smaller house, right? You're going to place less value on it because of that feeling you get. Is the house really any better or worse? No, it's exactly the same house that it would be when you close on it, when there's no furniture in it. But it gives you the feeling of it being smaller, right? Another thing is dated furniture. If you've got dated furniture, dated wallpaper, dated drapes over your windows, dated paintings, you might love it. You might think it looks great. But you could take that recently renovated home and make it feel like a 1994 home, even though it's completely updated because of all the stuff you've got in your home. So really look at what you've got in your home. If it's not modern or updated, I would consider getting as much of that out as possible, right? And then the last thing is going through and giving it a fresh coat of paint. Now, if you've got nice paint, you don't have to repaint the whole thing. But if it's old, dingy paint, if you're willing to do the work, and if you're not, that's fine, but just realize it'll probably sell for less, right? But if you're willing to do the work and get a fresh coat of paint on, man, it's going to spruce everything up and make it look sharp. If you've got nice paint, but it's got some dings, maybe you got some pets, you got kids, whatever it is, just go through and use the little cans of paint that you probably have sitting out in your garage stall like everybody else, and make those little touch-ups, man. It will do wonders for the inside. If you want to take it to the next level, you can get a stager in the home. That's going to help you a lot too, right? Now let's talk about the outside. On the outside, you've got just as much going on. When you step up to the home, you're making assumptions about the home before you even step through the front door based on what you see outside. So curb appeal is a big deal. One of the biggest things I see slowing buyers down from scheduling showings is the driveway not being power washed, right? I'll tell you right now, my driveway isn't power washed. I love my house. My house is great. But my driveway, if I was listing my home, would absolutely need to be power washed. So go through and power wash it, because that's the first picture people are going to see is the front of your home with your driveway. And if that driveway isn't sparkly white, right? Or assuming you got, that's concrete, right? If you got cobblestone, make sure you get all the weeds out of the crevices, right? Make it look sharp. Make sure your grass looks good. It's green. It's lush. There's not patches of dirt. Make sure that your bushes and your trees are all trimmed and they look sharp, right? And then look at your roof. The roof is the number one thing slowing buyers down from buying right now. If you've got a 16, 17, 18, 19-year-old roof, if you've got more than 19 years old, whoo, that's going to be a doozy. But if you've got an older roof, it's going to be tough to get a buyer excited when there's 2.6 times the homes on that there were 4 months ago, and there's some with newer roofs. Roofs are a big deal in Florida right now, right? A roof can be $20,000, $30,000 or more, depending upon the type of roof you've got. And if you don't pay for the new roof, you're thinking, well, I'll just take it off of my price. Not only do they have to come up with cash that, man, if you had it fixed, they could just get it financed, right? Now they got to come up with the cash. That's painful. And they got to do the work, and they got to take the risk. It's so much that it's overwhelming, and you're going to lose a lot more money than you would if you just put the roof on, right? So I would absolutely recommend, if you've got an older roof, consider getting a new roof on, and you will set yourself apart and attract so many buyers that won't even consider a home with a new roof. And now you've got multiple offers in a situation where people are actually bringing more homes onto the market, right? I'm going to get into the MLS here in a second, but if you guys have any questions, any comments, anything, whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, feel free to put them in the comments and I will address them. Not a problem at all. Last thing with presentation, right, is your MLS listing. I can't tell you how many times I walk into a 4-bedroom house and it was listed as a 2-bed. Or I walk into a home and it's got 3,500 square feet, but it was listed as 350 square feet. Or it's got a half an acre, but because just about everything in Port St Lucie has 0.23, 0.24 acres, it's listed as 0.23 acres, right? You're losing all those people who are doing online searches on websites like Zillow, Trulia, Redfin, Realtor, Coldwell Banker, Remax, Keller Williams, eXp Realty. All those sites are pulling from an IDX feed the data from your MLS. And if your realtor puts in the wrong data, those searches aren't going to pull back the home. And now you're not in as many searches. Are you going to get showings? Absolutely. Might you get an offer? Absolutely. But you're not going to perform as well as you would if you had the accurate data. If you had the accurate data, you'll show up in the right searches and the right buyers will come in. The most interested buyers will come in. And now you're going to get offers from the most interested buyers, which are obviously going to be the best offers you can get, right? So go through. Your realtor should be professional. They should do a great job, but all of us are human. Go in and check it on day one before you lose too many buyers to see, hey, Joe, it's a 4-bed you listed 2. Can you fix that? Hey, it's got 3,500 square feet, not 350. You missed a 0. Can you punch it in there, right? Let them know right away. It's a big, big decision to be able to sell your home and bring in that big chunk of change. Make sure you're taking advantage of everything you can. All right, the next thing is your marketing. You want a realtor who is marketing your property big time. Now, I'll be honest with you, when it comes to selling a home, 90+% of the job of it being sold, when you look at how you actually attracted a buyer, 90+% of the time it has something to do with the MLS, right? It's either the buyer's agent of that buyer sent it to them because it hit the MLS or was automatically emailed to them, or they've got a saved Zillow search and it popped up. Something from the MLS sold that home. But as a realtor, I want to take advantage of that other 5-10% of the time by maximizing out my marketing. And realtors, here's a pitch to you. If you're thinking, well, 90% of the time, I'm going to get it sold from the MLS. I don't need to worry about that other 5 or 10%. It's not just about selling that house. You're going to get other buyers for other homes. Of course, you want to pitch your listings first. That's why it matters for you as a seller to work with someone who's got massive leads coming in. I'm going to pitch my leads first. But realtors, You're going to pitch your listings first, but if they don't buy those listings, you can still sell them anything. So it makes no sense not to bring in massive amounts of marketing, right? So we do a lot of different things, but some of the bigger things are Google pay-per-click leads. We've got Facebook leads that are lead funneling leads in. We can see what they're doing online, and now we can call them and have a great conversation with them. Open houses. We're doing calls around the area to make sure we're proactively reaching out to the neighborhood. And no, the neighborhood's probably not filled with people that are going to buy your house, but it's filled with people who have sons and daughters and brothers and moms and dads and friends who are going to buy your house because they want their family and friends to live in the same neighborhood as them, right? So that marketing piece is absolutely huge. And realtors, if you're thinking, man, I don't think it's going to sell this house, the MLS is going to sell this house, even if you're right, you're missing a huge part of the marketing ability that you could throw out there as a realtor, right? So get that marketing in place. Number 3 is commission payout. And I would even tweak that a little bit to say total incentive to the realtor. The overwhelming majority, the last number I remember was 87%, but it's somewhere in there, right? Roughly 9 out of 10 buyers are working with a buyer's agent. That buyer's agent is motivated by the incentive you're giving them. So if you're paying a small commission to your listing agent and they're paying a portion of that small commission to a buyer's agent, you're going to attract less people. And even the people who get in there, realtors are going to think, oh man, I hope they don't buy this one. The commission on this is incredibly low. So now you've got an unincentivized realtor. And I'm telling you, the relationship you have with a realtor, the confidence you have in the realtor, the vibes you get from a realtor, the presentation the realtor gives off absolutely matters. If you've got a strong payout, whether it's in a commission payout or a bonus or something else, it's going to impact you significantly. And you can see it in the data. You can go back and look at what does a lower commission get me on average? What does a higher commission get me on average? And you'll see that you will not just make more, you'll net more with a higher commission, right? And that's a big deal. Now, a lot of people ask me, Joe, should I go to higher commission or should I pay a bonus to a realtor? My personal opinion is it's really challenging. It's not impossible, but it's really challenging. And I don't know any agents who do this. Go out and search a bonus. It's just something that you're probably not going to do, right? It's not the easiest to search field. It's not possible, but it's not nearly as easy as it is to see the commission payout. That's incredibly easy to see. So when I pull up 48 listings that fit this buyer's needs, and I know, well, we're probably going to look at 6, 8, 10 of these, and they're going to buy one. There's going to be roughly 40 of these we're not going to show. A lot of agents are going to think, I'm going to show the ones that have the highest commission payout or the ones that incentivize me the most. All right, because they all fit my buyer's needs. Let's go show those. If they don't work, we'll look at the next few. But now those listings are getting the most eyes on, and they're selling for the highest amounts because they're getting the most amount of showings and the most amount of offers. That's critical to know. Not a lot of agents are going to explain that to the sellers, but I think it's important to understand that bit, right? And then the last piece of it is your price. And honestly, this is the biggest piece. But as a realtor, I want to address the first 3 pieces first, right? How can we tweak your presentation, both online and in person? How can we change the marketing or improve our marketing so we're constantly testing what we're doing to see, especially in a shifting market, is our marketing not working as well as other people's marketing? What are those other people doing? We're looking at it all the time to ensure we've got the best marketing. We want the best marketing, right? We're looking at what are our commission payouts compared to the market. Are we at or better than everybody else? Or are we kind of weak here and we could improve that? But if all those things are where they need to be, the result is we need to bump the price, right? And by bump the price, I mean bump it down. So the market will speak to you. And in this market, it'll speak to you in about 2 or 3 weeks, right? 6 months ago, I would have said it would speak to you in about 5 to 7 days. But now I'd say about a week or 2, you're going to know if you're priced correctly or not. You're going to know. And if you're not getting a lot of showings, if you're not getting any offers, if you are getting offers, but the offers are low, it's telling you you're probably high on price. Now, some people would say, well, Joe, if I wait a month or 2, I might get an offer. You're right. 100% you're right. But the offer you're going to get in the first week or 2 tend to be, and it's not like 50-50. It's like 90-10. The offers you get in the first week or 2 are by far the best offers you're going to see. Because those are the most motivated buyers, the most serious buyers. They've already, they are scouring the internet. They're absolutely glued to Zillow. They're absolutely glued to that email that their buyer's agent's sending them when new properties hit the market. And when your property hits them, if they're motivated, they're bringing an offer, man. They're looking at that house that day, and they've got you an offer in your email box 3 hours later. These guys are motivated. People who are looking a month, 2 months, 3 months after tend, not always, but tend to be less motivated people. So that's when you're going to get the offers with a million contingencies, underpriced, closing in 90 days, all kinds of problems, right? You've got troubles with those. You're attracting investors, all types of different things. So pricing it up front is critically important. And if you haven't gotten enough action in the first week or two, you absolutely want to look at price, right? Guys, there you go. There's the 4 reasons homes don't sell. And in this market, if you're a brand new listing, what you can do to set yourself apart. If you got any questions, comments, anything like that, put them in the comments and we'll absolutely get back to you. Other than that, I hope you have a fantastic week. Take care and thank you.